institution. It doesn't mean anything today. We live in a mental institution. 'Cause everything's crazy. They're doing away with borders. It's a new world. It's a new day. There is a new world order coming to your town. You better get ready. You better get ready. It's a new day. It's a new way. It's a new day. It's a new way.
Hey there, boys and girls. I'm Wild Bill, and I just rode into town. Look out, all you bad guys out there. I'm fixin' to blow the whistle on all your evil plans. Yes, it is Saturday night, and you are not going to believe what I got for you right here on Revolution Radio. Oh, yes. Welcome to the Samsel Report. We are coming to you live from my personal isolation tank right here in St. Louis, Missouri. Oh, yes. Okay. All right then. Let's get this here show on the road. Ladies and gentlemen, our government is a cesspool of corruption. Oh, yes. Our industrial might is a thing of the past, and the Constitution and the Bill of Rights are being trashed by a treasonous, out-of-control government intent on enslaving the American people. I know. Yes, it sounds just like something out of the Twilight Zone. Oh, man. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen? You know what? I tell you what. We live in the Twilight Zone. You're traveling through another dimension, a dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance. You are bombarded by the conditioning illusion projected forth by corporate and government-controlled mass media. A world of mind-controlled automatons, unable to think or speak out or stand up for themselves. You're entering a world where everything is just the opposite of what you think it is. You are living in the Twilight Zone. The Twilight Zone. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, we live in the Twilight Zone. The mainstream media is a weapon being used to control and dumb down the American people. Even as they are raped financially, their rights and liberties trampled upon, and America destroyed by design. Oh, yes. And now it's time for an important message, especially for you listeners out there. Oh, yes, because this here program on Revolution Radio is listener supported. And that means you, ladies and gentlemen. If you like this network and you like this here program, then please send us money. Now, we don't want a whole lots of money. No. All we want is whatever you can spare. That's right. Oh, yes, that's it. So please help fund this broadcasting network. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. You need this here broadcasting network. Revolution Radio is the voice of truth and freedom that you won't hear anywhere else. So please help support informative, entertaining, fabulously original, innovative, cutting-edge, enlightening, entertaining, mind-expanding, and awe-inspiring programs just like this one. Yes, it is Wild Bill's Headline Roundup, and it is heard only on the Revolution Radio. Yes, that's right. You heard right. It is the Samsel Report, the amazing answer to mainstream media mind-washing. One simple dose of the Samsel Report has been found to instantly cure anal discharge of cranial obstruction. Oh, yes, it is now possible for the sheeple to see the light of day. Yes, they can now breathe deeply the sweet air of truth rather than the noxious fumes of media and government propaganda. The Samsel Report, heard weekly, is guaranteed to dislodge head from ass like nothing ever experienced before. How is that possible? Well, the Samsel Report is the only show that contains humor as its primary active ingredient. Humor is dissolved instantly by the body, causing uncontrollable laughter that has been actively proven to stimulate mental activity. Sheeple can experience dramatic results within 2 short hours. And the effects of Wild Bill's sarcastic wit can last for days.
You're riding with Wild Bill's Freedom Posse.
That's right. You're riding with the Freedom Posse. Yes, it is the Samsel Report, and it is heard only on Revolution Radio. So there you go. There you have it. And now it's time for
Strange but true.
That's right. That's right. It is time for Strange but True. You are not going to believe this. One day a girl licked the envelope and postage stamps instead of using a sponge. That very day, the lady found a cut on her tongue. Oh, yes, look out. A week later, she noticed an abnormal swelling of her tongue. She went to the doctor, and they found nothing wrong. But a couple of days later, her tongue started to swell more, and it began to get really sore, so sore that she could not eat. No. So she went back to the hospital, and she demanded that something be done. The doctor took an X-ray of her tongue and noticed a lump. Oh, yes, there was a lump on her tongue. He prepared her for minor surgery. Well, when the doctor cut her tongue open, a live cockroach crawled out. Oh, yes, it turns out that the factory where the envelopes were made was infested with cockroaches. There were cockroach eggs on the seal of the envelope. The egg was able to hatch inside of her tongue. Ladies and gentlemen,
Strange, but true.
Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen. So there you have it. Our first installment of Strange, but True. And you heard it first right here on Revolution Radio. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Free your mind, and your ex will follow. That's right. And no truer words have ever been spoken. Okay, all right. You know what time it is, buckaroos? Do you know what time it is? Well, I'll tell you what time it is. It is time for Wild Bill's Headline Roundup. Oh, yes, all the news that you won't get from the mainstream media. It's time to saddle up with old Wild Bill, and we gonna round us up a whole mess of them there headline critters. Okay? All right? Are you ready, buckaroos? Are you ready to hit the trail? Well, let's go. Let's hit the trail. That's right. Hi-ho, sweetheart. Away. Yes, it is time for Wild Bill's Headline Roundup. And here we go. Our first headline. Obama lifts HIV immigration ban. Oh, yes, you heard right, ladies and gentlemen. Obama lifts the HIV immigration ban. President Obama has announced the elimination of immigration provisions which ban entry of immigrants with HIV, in a move that will undoubtedly increase HIV infection across the United States. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. The Obama administration's new rule will eliminate a clause in the Immigration and Nationality Act that denies admission to those with HIV. In 1993, a clause specifically designed to reduce the spread of AIDS into the United States was added to the INA. It was passed by the Senate with a vote of 76 to 23. It reads, "Any alien who is determined to have communicable disease of public health significance, which shall include infection with HIV/AIDS, is inadmissible." That's right. That's right. It's the responsibility of the Department of Health and Human Services to determine whether a disease qualifies as a communicable disease of public health significance. By making this change, President Obama has declared that HIV is no longer a communicable disease of public health significance. How do you like them apples? What do you think of that? That's right. That's right. It's just one less thing that the sheeple need to worry themselves about. That's right. Don't worry about it, okay? Just keep moving. There's nothing to see here. Everything is under control, so you can all go back to sleep. Okay? All right? Okay. Now, what do you think we ought to do with that one, huh? What do you think we should do with that? You want to stick it in the corral with the rest of them? Okay. All right, here we go. Stick it on in there. Get on in there. Get in there. Obama and his immigration HIV all over the place. Get on in. Get in there. There you go. There you have it. There you go. Okay. All right. Well, that was our first headline. There you have it. Okay? All right, let's go on to our next headline. How about that? Can we do that? Is that okay? All right. Okay. Our next headline, ladies and gentlemen, the coming GOP amnesty sellout push. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. The coming weeks will see the formal start of the GOP House leadership's attempt to sneak an immigration amnesty through the Republican caucus and into law. Oh, yes, you heard right. There will be some form of legalization, conditional amnesty for the 11 million, try 33 million or more illegal immigrants already here. It won't give them a special path to citizenship, but they will likely be able to pursue citizenship through regular old channels. Oh, yes. Either way, the message sent to potential future immigrants will be, if you come here illegally, you'll get to stay legally. Hey, there you go. And why not? Why not? We've already got a quarter, 1/4 of the Mexican population making themselves right at home here in the United States. Let's invite even more unskilled, low-wage mental midgets from the third world countries to move right in and make themselves at home. Hey, the American taxpayers can afford to pay for all the free goodies that the fat cats in the District of Criminals want to bestow upon all the so-called immigrants who successfully swim across the Rio Grande that they could ever dream of. Besides, we're just one great big melting pot, aren't we? That's right. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Well, you want to stick that one in there with the get on in there. Get your immigrant butts right on in there. Get in there. Get on in there. Get your cell phone in there. Oh, man. There you go. There you go. Right into the old corral. Okay? All right? Okay? All right, then. I tell you what. Let's go to our next headline. Okay? Can we do that? Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Our next headline. Shrinking Wyoming by 100 million acres. Oh, yes, you heard right. They're going to shrink Wyoming by 100 million acres. Now, how do you like them apples? What do you think of that? Why is the EPA altering state boundaries in Wyoming? Why is the EPA reversing over 100 years of established law? This, obviously, isn't sitting very well with the governor's office. Oh no, the governor is urging the EPA to reconsider its ruling and respect the rule of law. That's right. That's right. Reacting to the decision to reduce the size of Wyoming by about 1 million acres, Wyoming Governor Matt Mead warned of the dangers to all Americans of this type of unilateral land redistribution by the EPA. He said, "My deep concern is about an administrative agency of the federal government altering a state's boundary and going against over 100 years of history and law." That's what Governor Matt Mead had to say. Oh, man. I'll tell you what. This should be a concern to all citizens, because if the EPA can unilaterally take land away from a state, well, where will it stop? Well, the answer to that question is, it won't stop. If they can get away with it in Wyoming, they can pull it off elsewhere. You know, it's all part of the United Nations Agenda 21 plan. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. In fact, they want to sell off huge portions of America's national parks, as well as big, huge parcels of land all over this country. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Well, I tell you what. I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. We got all that land just sitting there, wasting away, while it could be generating much-needed income to pay off this country's debt. That's right. That's right. Or it can be rewilded and put off limits to Joe Public. That's right. According to Agenda 21, people should live in sustainable housing. That's right, sustainable housing in the big cities where they can be monitored morning, noon, and night by Big Brother. That's right. Think about it. Think about it. How else are they going to be able to keep us all safe and secure? Can you answer me that? You know, they can protect us and return the countryside to its original Garden of Eden type naturality. Oh, yes, I'm telling you. These globalist elites have all the answers. Oh, yes, it is a brave new world. But then again, I think the American sheeple are ready for these kinds of changes, don't you? I think they're sufficiently dumbed down enough to accept anything the globalists have to throw at them. That's right. But don't take my word for it. After all, I could be possibly mistaken. That's right. I could be wrong. But I really don't think so. I really don't think so. Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you what, we live in the Twilight Zone. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. That's right. We live in the Twilight Zone. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I tell you what, you know. What was that, sweetheart? What did you say there, darling? What did you say? Oh, okay, all right, okay. Yes, we can do that. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, sweetheart says I need to do this right now, okay? So here we go.
Yes, it's Charlie Danger, private detective. Charlie Danger, defender of the Constitution. And now, Charlie Danger, private detective.
Get this and get it straight. Crime is a sucker's road, and those who travel it today are more cunning, traitorous, and evil than ever. They got big wallets and big ideas and big plans, and they don't like anything or anyone that gets in their way. I ought to know. I'm Charlie Danger. It was a cold, windy day as I sat behind my desk in my cozy little office waiting for a phone to ring that lately hadn't been ringing enough. I sat staring blankly at the wall, listening to the sultry sound of the sax player down the hall practicing for his next weekend's gig. I was trying to decide if I should get up and fix myself yet another drink. Suddenly the door burst open and a beautiful blonde bombshell in a fancy evening dress that fit just right in just the right places strolled into the room. She stood there in her spiked heels looking utterly gorgeous and at the same time a little bit dangerous. I say dangerous because in her pretty little hand was a great big .38 caliber snub-nosed Smith & Wesson and the business end was pointing right at my ticker.
Yes, there are now 4 Charlie Danger adventures to choose from. Go to hiddenmysteries.com. That's hiddenmysteries.com.
That's right. You can go to hiddenmysteries.com where you can check out Charlie Danger, Private Detective. That's right. Charlie Danger, the man who will stand up for freedom and liberty against the New World Order. Oh, yeah, written by yours truly. That's right. And you can also check out today's New Atlantis, also by yours truly. Or you can check out my other books. So check them all out. Go to Hidden Mysteries and check the whole bunch of them out. Okay? All right? Will you do that? Will you do that? Oh. Now, who let the sheeple out? Who left the gate open? Let the sheeple out all over the place. Boy, oh boy, close that gate. Close that gate. My goodness, they're all roaming around with this deer in their headlights look on their faces. I'm afraid they're going to hurt themselves. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Huh? You're riding with Wild Bill's Freedom Posse. That's right. You're riding with the Freedom Posse. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Samsel Report. It is Wild Bill's headline roundup. Okay? All right? We already know that Obama is one of the biggest liars in American presidential history. Oh, yes. Truly, he's one of the all-time greats. He has not told the truth since he emerged from his mother's womb. This guy wouldn't know the truth if it smacked him right upside his head. Oh, man. I sometimes wonder if this guy isn't the end product of some bubbling genetic chemical reaction in a test tube that went awry. I often find myself wondering, is this guy real? You got to give him credit, though. By golly, you got to give him credit. He does his handlers proud, and he gets away with stuff that a white guy couldn't. That's right. Yes, he's the New World Order's boy, and he gets things done. Oh, and that's what's important. There you go. It's time for our next headline, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yes, it's an Obama headline. Oh, man. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Obama, the most destructive, dangerous president ever. Oh, yes, you heard right. You heard right. A well-respected constitutional expert is blasting President Obama's unprecedented abuse of powers. Oh, yes, this constitutional expert has described him as worse than Richard Nixon. That's right. That's right. He even goes so far as to call him the most un-American president in the history of the nation. Oh, yes. I tell you what, this guy is so bad. He is so bad, Obama is. I think Barney Fife would be better. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Not only Barney Fife, but Gomer Pyle. Golly. Or even Goober could do a better job. That's right. Goober could do a better job. Why, Lou Costello or Stan Laurel or even Mo, or Larry, or Curly could give him a run for his money. That's right. That's right. At least at least they're more American and have a better understanding of the Constitution. That's right. That's right. Why even Lassie or Flipper or Mr. Ed could do a better job. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That's right. They could do a better job and cause less damage to our God-given rights. Oh, yes. Oh, what was that, sweetheart? What did you say there, darling? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, sweetheart says she'd vote for Mr. Ed over Obama any day. That's right. Oh, man. Oh, man. Hell, I think Herman Munster would be preferable. That's right. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, I think a jar of peach preserves would be more preferable. You can at least swallow a jar of peach preserves. You certainly can't swallow anything Obama throws at you. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's right. Sweetheart agrees wholeheartedly. Yes, she does. And you know what? You know what? This guy wants to run for a third term. That's right. He wants to run for a third term. I'd rather stick my head in a meat grinder. Oh, yes. I'd rather smell dirty baby diapers. That's right. That's right. Why, I'd rather see Hillary get in there. Oh, my God. My God. What am I saying? What am I saying? Wash my mouth out with soap. I didn't mean that, ladies and gentlemen. I'd rather sleep with Lorena Bobbitt. That's right. Remember her? I'd rather vote for Lady Gaga. That's right. That's right. But hey, now wait a minute. Now hold on now. Hold your horses. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. What's the alternative? What's the alternative? Who could the Republicrats possibly come up with that's worth the powder to blow 'em to hell? That big, fat, blowhard Chris Christie? If he gets in there, look out for food shortages. I tell you what. That's right. That's right. Huckabee, Santorum, Paul Ryan. I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw a Chrysler. That's right. That's right. Sarah Palin. Please, I ate less than an hour ago. Okay? John McCain, now I'm really gonna lose my lunch. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, 330 million people in this country, and they can't come up with one, not one, that won't sell us down the river. Ladies and gentlemen, we are screwed, blued, and tattooed. Oh, yes, if any of these people gets in there. That's right. That's right, because they are all nothing but puppets of the global elite. They are gonna cram the New World Order down our collective throats as sure as the Pope is Catholic. That's right. That's right. Yes, we are in deep, deep, stinky, dinky doo-doo, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yes, we are. Oh, yes. Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if we could simply flush all of these despicable, horrible, despicable blowhards right down the old porcelain commode where they so deservedly belong? Oh, yes. There they go. Ah, all gone. All gone. Yes, Democrats and Republicans, too. All of those dirty, rotten criminals wallowing around in that great big cesspool, that great big pigsty that we all know as Washington, D.C. That's right, because not a single one of them is worth the cost of the powder it would take to blow them all to the searing, hot flames of Satan's own hellish inferno, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take that bunch of... Look at them. Look at them. There they are. Look at them. There they are. There's McCain. There's McCain. There's Huckabee. There's Santorum over in the corner over there. You see him over there? The entire Obama administration. Look at him. Look at him. You see that? You see what I'm talking about? How do you like them apples? Boy, oh boy, let's stick them in the corral with the rest of them. Get on in there. Get on in there with the rest of them there. Get yourself up. Get in there. Get on in there. My goodness gracious me. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you what. We live in the Twilight Zone. That's right. That's right. That's right. We live in the Twilight Zone. Yes, indeed. No, what was that, sweetheart? What did you say there? Okay, all right, okay. I'm going to do the next one. All right. Our next headline, ladies and gentlemen. Where is it? What did I do with it? Where'd it go? It was here a minute ago. What happened to the next headline? Where'd the next headline? Oh, okay. All right, okay. I got it. Our next headline, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get serious now, okay? Can we get serious for a minute here? Okay? All right? Our next headline. Fukushima fallout fears as double the normal amount of radiation is found in Missouri snow, and San Francisco beach bursts safety levels, prompting investigation. You heard right. That was a mouthful, wasn't it? That was a long headline, wasn't it? Okay, let's check it out. Let's check it out. In September, a BBC report said radiation readings around the Fukushima power plant were 18 times higher than previously reported. Okay, you got that? Okay, it comes just days after radiation readings were found to be double the normal amount in Missouri's recent snowfall. Oh, yes, we had, 9, 10 inches of snow here in Missouri last week, right? Double the radiation levels in the snow. That's right. The findings mean that small particles of radioactive material are indeed coming down in the precipitation. Health officials in San Mateo County, California confirmed readings reaching over 150 microrems per hour, but they said they were unsure about what had caused it. Give me a break here. Am I hearing that right? Did I say that properly? 150 microrems per hour, but they are unsure about what had caused it. EPA officials have dismissed the possibility that it could be linked to Fukushima radiation reaching the West Coast, despite forecasts by experts last summer that radioactive particles from Fukushima would reach the United States coastal waters in 2014. You got that so far? You with me on this? Okay. Last week, RT reported that new plumes of radioactive steam were emerging from the crippled reactor number 3 at the plant, but TEPCO representatives refused to explain the cause. That's right, you heard right. The Department of Health and Human Services has ordered 14 million doses of potassium iodide, the compound that protects the human body from radioactive poisoning in the aftermath of severe nuclear accidents. That's right, 14 million doses. But a DHHS official denied that the purchase was connected to the Fukushima crisis. TEPCO, the Japanese government, as well as the U.S. government and the mass media, have repeatedly been caught lying in their efforts to downplay the scale of the Fukushima disaster. Oh, yes. Right here in Missouri, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you know, I feed the stray cats in the neighborhood. That's right. That's stray cats. These are pets that people have thrown out like they do the garbage. Okay? And old Wild Bill winds up feeding these poor critters. Okay? Well, 9-10 inches of snow out there, and these critters are running around in it. Okay? But not only them, but all the critters out there, the food animals, the cows, right? The chickens, right? Radiation is showing up in our milk, right? 3 times the normal rate in the milk, okay? In the beef that we eat, in the hamburgers, okay? All right? In the eggs, okay? All right? And we're out there running around in it too, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. And it's melting. And it goes into the water supply, and we're drinking it, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yes. And we have seals and porpoises and starfish melting starfish off the California coast. We are being poisoned by radiation, ladies and gentlemen. The entire northern hemisphere is being poisoned by radiation from Fukushima. And you know what? The government is playing it down. The government is not telling us about it. Okay? They are lying to us about it, ladies and gentlemen. They're making believe it's okay. It's all right. Don't worry about it. There's nothing happening here. Go home. Go back to bed. Go to sleep. Forget about it. There's nothing to worry about. Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you what, we live in the twilight zone. That's right. That's right, and nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about it. So there you go. There you have it. There you go. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Free your mind. And your ass will follow. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, and no truer words have ever been spoken. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, we have a caller on the line, and it's Wild Bill. Wild Bill is on the line. Hey, Wild Bill.
Hey, it's me.
Man, oh man, how did that happen?
Hey, I just thought I'd call into the show and, liven things up a little bit.
Oh, I've never interviewed myself before.
Well, there you go. There you have it. There you go. It's something completely new, isn't it?
Okay, all right. So what do you got for me?
Well, you ought to know. You ought to know.
What?
Right?
What?
You can't answer that because I already know.
What's the point in calling into the show?
I don't know. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Tell me something. Tell me something. Are you having a good time yet?
I'm having a wonderful time.
Now, you see, boys and girls, this is what it's like to be in two different places at the same time. Am I right?
That's right.
This is Twilight Zone stuff here.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
Because we live in the Twilight Zone.
Yes, indeed. Yes, we do.
That's right. So let's get back to the headline roundup. What was that, sweetheart? What did you say there, darling? Okay, all right. She wants me to play this here for you. Okay? She wants me to play you this little clip for you, ladies and gentlemen.
And now, the Monongahela Metal Foundry, maker of extra shiny steel ingots for home and office use, invites you to ride with the men of Sport Car 119.
Listen to Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com, and we'll be right back after this message. You're listening to Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, 100% listener-supported radio, and now we return you to your host.
What was that, sweetheart? What did you say there? What was that? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, all right. I'll play it again. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to play it again. All right. Her clip got interrupted by the break. So she wants me to play the clip again. Okay, I'm going to play it. All right. Here it goes.
And now, the Monongahela Metal Foundry, maker of extra shiny steel ingots for home and office use, invites you to ride with the men of Sport Car 119.
My name's Sam Finch. Me and my partner, Ralph R. Kruger, Jr., we're the unsung heroes of the police force. We ride a prowl car at night. Sometimes we go around corners, sometimes straight ahead. Either way, we keep on the lookout for trouble. Other evening, I just pulled a squad car over to the curb, shut off the engine, when my partner, Ralph R. Kruger, Jr., turned to me and said,
Why'd you pull over to the curb and shut off the engine, Sam?
kind of quiet tonight, so I thought we might catch a little nap before we have to check in with headquarters.
Gee, I can't sleep when it's this hot and humid, Sam. My shirt sticks to me. I get too uncomfortable to doze off.
Yeah, well, why don't you just lean back and rest your eyes then, Ralph Jr.?
No, that's no good. Leaning back just makes my shirt stick to the car seat, and that's even worse.
Yeah, that's too bad. I think I could really doze off if you'd just pipe down, Ralph
I'm
R.
sorry,
Jr.
Sam. Never been able to relax in sticky clothes when it's hot and humid.
Yeah.
I don't even wear pajama tops until after Labor Day.
Yeah, well, when it's hot and humid like that.
Calling Car 119, Car 119. Investigate a man behaving suspiciously in the drugstore at Pico and Olympic. That's the drugstore at Pico and Olympic.
Ah, drugstore at Pico and Olympic, huh?
That's us, Sam. Let's roll.
Gee, look at that temperature gauge, Ralph R. Jr. It's almost up to boiling.
Must be a broken fan belt. I'll be willing to bet on it. Better turn off the engine and have a look, Sam.
Yeah. Maybe just registered hot because the water wasn't circulating while we were parked there.
No, I'd be willing to bet it's a broken fan belt. Careful now when you open the hood, Sam. The steam could come right up and hit you in the face.
Yeah. Doesn't seem to be boiling over. I'll lean in and check the fan belt.
Careful when you stick your head in there, Sam. You could bang it on the hood and get a nasty gash.
Yeah, fan belt's okay. Maybe we're just low on water.
Be careful if you plan to take off that radiator cap, Sam. Hot water could spill out all over your hands there.
Yeah, if it did, you could get a nasty burn.
Calling Car 119, Car 119. Disregard that call to investigate a man behaving suspiciously in the drugstore at Pico and Olympic. The case has been handled by the men of Squad Car 24. The suspect has been apprehended, booked, and brought to trial. In 1 minute, the results of that trial.
The suspect arrested in that drugstore at Pico and Olympic was convicted on 5 counts of behaving suspiciously. Behaving suspiciously in a drugstore is punishable by a term in the state penitentiary of not less than 20 years or more than life.
And so another desperate criminal is brought to justice thanks to the unsung heroes of the police force, the men who ride the squad cars at night.
There you go. There you have it. Okay, all right. Are you satisfied now? Are you satisfied? Okay, all right. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Samsel Report right here on Revolution Radio. You're riding with Wild Bill's Freedom Posse. That's right. You're riding with the Freedom Posse. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, are you having a good time? Are you having a good time out there? Are you having... All right. Okay. All right. Everybody's having a good time listening to the Samsel Report right here on Revolution Radio. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. There you go. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, our next headline. Unemployment and misery index is the worst it's been in 40 years. Oh, yes, you heard right. This is out of the Washington Examiner. Don't believe the happy talk coming out of the White House, the Federal Reserve, or the Treasury Department when it comes to the real unemployment rate and the true misery index. Because according to an influential Wall Street advisor, the figures are a fraud. Oh, yes, you heard right. The actual unemployment rate of those not working is at a sky-high 37.2%, not the 6.7% advertised by the feds. Oh, yes, when you hear the feds tell you that the unemployment rate is 6.7%, don't you believe it? That's right. Don't you for 1 minute believe it? The actual number is 37.2%. You know what that means? That means that out of the 330 million people who live in this country, 110 million are out of work. Are you freaking kidding me? That's 100 million Americans that are out of work. That is 1/3 of the population. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. But I tell you what, nearly all of the illegal aliens have jobs. That's right. Oh, yes. So if you can swim across the Rio Grande, you can pretty much count on finding employment in America. That's right. That's right. Meanwhile, Americans who used to run successful small businesses, you know, the mom and pops, they are now out of business. Oh, yes. People are going broke in this country left and right. That's right. Meanwhile, the feds are telling us the economy is in recovery. That's right. The economy is in recovery. That's right. The economy is in recovery, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. That's right. I tell you what. I talk to libtards that believe that crap. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Obama has kept this economy from going over the edge. Obama himself is going around claiming that he saved us from economic collapse. That's right. Are you kidding me? You gotta be kidding me. Everybody I know is going down the tubes. That's right. The dollar isn't even worth 5 cents. That's right. That's right. Have you been in a grocery store lately? Huh? Have you seen the look of disgust on the faces of the people in the grocery stores lately? Prices are going through the roof. That's right. They're going to the moon. They're going outside the solar system there. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, that's because the dollar isn't worth toilet paper anymore. That's right. That's right. But the Fed keeps right on printing more and printing more and printing more like it's going out of style. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, it's going out of style. That's right. So I tell you what, if you are privileged enough to have a job these days, what they are paying you is less than you made 10 years ago. Oh, yes, that's right. That's right. You are being ripped off, people. You are being screwed. And yet, the brain-dead sheeple continue to support the liar in chief. That's right. They continue to drink the Kool-Aid. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. The misery index. Okay, here we go. The misery index is a calculation based on inflation and unemployment. That's right. Okay? That's what the misery index is. In other words, how miserable has life become for the average American? How far has your standard of living gone down the tubes? How much harder is life getting to be for people? For the average Americans, for the middle class? How far down the slippery slope of slavery have the American people slid? Boy, oh boy, oh boy. The feds put that number at 8 out of 100. That's the misery index. The feds put that number at 8 out of 100. Okay? You got that? Do you follow me so far? All right. In actuality, the misery index should be at 37 out of 100. Okay? You got that? Okay. In other words, you slaves out there are more miserable than ever. That's right. You can't afford to pay your bills. That's right. Your cars are getting repoed. That's right. Adult kids are moving back in with their parents because they can't afford it out there on their own. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, their houses are being foreclosed, ladies and gentlemen. Their kids are going hungry. That's right. And they are working harder. They are working more hours, and they are still going broke. They can't afford a vacation. They can't afford dinner and a movie. That's right. That's right. Life in the land of opportunity is becoming financially unbearable for millions of Americans. The middle class is getting wrung through the ringer, ladies and gentlemen. Life is becoming more and more miserable in this country every single day. That's right. Oh, yes, no matter what the feds are telling you. And yet the brain-dead, zombie-like, moronic mass of brainwashed mental midgets out there still support Obama and the rest of those despicable criminals in Washington, D.C. Oh, yes, they continue to believe the lies and the propaganda. Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, they still believe the lies and the propaganda. Close that gate. We're trying to do a program here. Thank you. Okay. All right. They continue to believe the lies and the propaganda coming out of the District of Criminals. Oh, yes, the unemployment rate is going down. The misery index is improving. That's right. That's right. The economy is recovering, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you worry. Things are getting better. Everything's gonna be just fine. Oh, yes, the dirty, rotten scumbags in D.C. have the situation under control. Well, if you believe that, then we are truly screwed, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I tell you what. I tell you what. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I didn't like that one at all. I didn't like that there headline at all. Did you? I don't think you guys liked that there headline at all. So you know, you know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do with that there headline, ladies and gentlemen? I'm going to put the damn thing out of its misery, okay? Let's put that thing out of its misery. There you go. There you go. Here, give it another one. There you go. Give it. Unload the clip, man. Unload the clip in there. All right. That takes care of that. You got to be kidding me. The thing is still moving? The thing is still moving. Oh, okay. All right. That took care of it. Okay. All right. We now continue, ladies and gentlemen, with the headline roundup. Okay? All right. Our next headline. 2013 was another unusually warm year across the globe. That's what the U.S. government says. Oh, man, you heard right. 2013 was another unusually warm year across the globe, according to the U.S. government and NASA, ladies and gentlemen. This comes out of Washington, the Associated Press. Last year was among a handful of the warmest on record since 1880, according to U.S. government figures that came out Tuesday that provide more evidence that the planet is heating up. Oh, that's right. You heard right. Human-caused pollution and the burning of fossil fuels such as oil and coal have driven up greenhouse gas levels, leading to this long-term rise in temperatures. That's what the U.S. space agency NASA said. NASA says carbon dioxide is at its highest level in the atmosphere in 800,000 years. Oh, that's right. That's right. It has risen from 285 parts per million in 1880 to 400 parts per million last year, NASA said. Oh, look out. Look out. Unless current trends change, scientists say the world should expect each of the coming decades to be warmer than the last. That's what a NASA climatologist had to say. So there you have it. There you go. Okay, all right. According to Al Gore, Greenpeace, and the globalists, man-made global warming is real, and we need a global effort to reduce carbon in the atmosphere, or else this planet and mankind itself is doomed. Yes, we are doomed. We are doomed, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we need carbon taxes on everything and a carbon exchange so that carbon credits can be traded just like on Wall Street. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That's right. That's right. That's what the globalists have to say. Just agree to pay carbon taxes, and the powers that be can save us from extinction. Oh, yes, just give government and industry billions of dollars, and the whole problem of global warming can be effectively dealt with. Oh, yes, that's right. That's right. But you know what? You know what? There is actually brain-dead sheeple out there who believe all this crap. Oh, yes. Just like they believe all the rest of the crap that the powers that be throw at them. Oh, yes. Just like the unemployment rate being 6.7%. The economic recovery, huh? Right? The government is protecting us, right? Right? Flu shots are good for you. And Obama is doing a great job. Oh, yes. You know, I was on the web yesterday. That's right. I was on the web yesterday, and I met this guy named Bob, okay? And I was quite impressed with what he had to say on the subject. So I tell you what, let's give a listen to what my new friend Bob had to say about global warming, okay? All right, here we go. Let's check the clip out.
What's next? I'll tell you what's next. Global warming. Are you kidding me? Do you know this is the coldest it's been in New York City in the past 118 years? Do you know this is the coldest it's been in Chicago since 1846? The average temperature around the United States today is 14 degrees. Did you know a bunch of Russian scientists were in Antarctica last week trying to prove that the icebergs were melting, that polar bears were going to drown, and that penguins would have no place to live? You want to know what happened to those scientists? They got stuck in the ice. A Chinese ice-breaking ship was sent to save them, and that ship got stuck in the ice. Everybody had to be rescued by Australian helicopters. As we speak, the United States Coast Guard is heading to Antarctica trying to free both those ships. Hopefully they don't get stuck in the ice. And when are you people going to get it? Global warming is not a science, it's a scam. The United States government has spent over $7.5 billion in the past 3 years trying to fight global warming in other countries. They spent over $22 billion this year alone trying to fight global warming in this country. How has it worked? I mean, would you let the United States government spend $22 billion of your money on freaking Cyclops monocles or halfway houses for freaking leprechauns? Would you let them spend $22 billion of your money on freaking bumper stickers that say save the unicorns or skincare treatment for mermaids? Of course not. So why do you let them spend it on this? If the United States government has an extra $22 billion, they should pay back Social Security. They should put it into freaking Medicare or freaking unemployment. They should buy freaking blankets for the homeless. But they shouldn't use it to try and convince Mother Nature that she doesn't know how to do her job. Mother Nature's a genius. We're the freaking morons. We're the freaking morons. What's next? What's next? What's next?
There you go. That's what Bob had to say. And I think he hit the nail right on the head. So there you have it. Bob took the words right out of my mouth. That's right. That's right. Global warming is a scam that the global elite are trying to cram down our throats and ram up our butts. Oh, yes. So stick that in your pipe and smoke it. And then let me know if you get off or not. Okay? All right? Let's take that one there and stick it right there in with the rest of them in the corral. Get your global warming butt in there. Get Al Gore. There goes Al Gore. There he goes. Get on in there. Get in there, you. Get. There you go. All right. Okay, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Samsel Report right here on Revolution Radio. This is Wild Bill's Headline Roundup. Okay? All right. Let us now continue with the Headline Roundup. Our next headline: Missouri is set to arrest feds for their gun control enforcement. Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen. Right here in Missouri, a Missouri Senate panel is taking up legislation that would send federal agents to jail for attempting to enforce federal gun control laws in the state. That's right. That's right. The measure would declare federal gun control policies null and void. Agents enforcing them could spend a year in jail and be fined up to $1,000 and face other civil penalties. The bill would also allow designated school personnel to carry concealed weapons inside school buildings. Another provision would let citizens carry firearms openly, even in municipalities with ordinances banning open carry. So there you go. There you have it. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Right here in Missouri. I tell you what, let's give Missouri a great big Samsel Report round of applause. That's right. There you go. For standing up for our Second Amendment rights. Now you're talking. Now you're making sense. There you go. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. There you have it. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. How do you like that? Man, oh man, oh man. I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you what. Let us continue now with the headline roundup. Okay? All right? Okay? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a minute now. What? Hold on a minute. I know, I'm looking for it. It's right here. Okay, all right. I'm looking for it. It's right here somewhere. I saw it just a minute ago. Hold on a minute. Okay, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a caller on the line, and it's Wild Bill. Hey there, Wild Bill.
It's me again. Hey there, Wild Bill.
How do you do that? How do you keep calling into the show? I mean...
That's my secret. And I ain't talking.
Oh, so you're not going to tell us how you do it, huh?
No, that's top secret. Now, no, you don't get to know that.
Well, what do you got for me there, Wild Bill?
I just thought I'd call in and stir things up a little bit, you know what I mean?
Well, I'll tell you what, you got everybody's attention. That's right.
Well, yes, indeed. That's right. So how's the show going? Going?
Everything's going along just as nice as you please.
You know, I don't think that computer likes you very much. I think the computer has a problem, is what I think.
Well, I think the damn thing has a mind of its own, really. It waits until I get on the air, and then it starts messing with me.
You better be nice to that computer. You better be nice to that computer so that it works for you, see?
I am as nice as you please to the computer. Yes, I am.
I tell you what, you know you're in trouble when it starts singing Daisy, right?
It hasn't started singing Daisy yet, no.
Daisy, Daisy.
Now, quit messing around now, Wild Bill. Quit messing around now.
Okay, I know that you're producing the show tonight for the first time, so I'm not going to do anything to mess you up, okay? All right. Okay.
Well, thank you for your consideration there, Wild Bill.
Well, you know what? Good luck with producing the show, and I hope everything goes good for you there, and I hope the computer doesn't mess up nothing for you there. So, good luck, and we'll catch you later, okay?
Well, there you go. There you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, Wild Bill calling in to the show. There he goes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. There you go. I would like to take this opportunity to make the listener or listeners aware that any views or opinions expressed are the sole artistic creation of a single human entity. Thus, said entity assumes full responsibility for all thoughts, ideas, concepts, assumptions, suppositions, assertions, quotations, exclamations, evaluations, disclosures, revelations, usurpations, plagiarism, propaganda, indoctrination, insinuations, innuendos, or exposés that may or may not be heard during the act of listening to this audio. That's right. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you what. You're riding with Wild Bill's Freedom Posse. That's right. You're riding with the Freedom Posse. This is Wild Bill's Headline Roundup, and we now continue with our headlines. Our next headline: Muslims gang rape elderly American woman in Colorado. Oh yes, you heard right, ladies and gentlemen. The victim was an elderly Christian woman who was invited by some Iraqi refugees of the Muslim persuasion to step inside the house and have some lemonade. Oh yes, that's right. That's right. You heard right. And then they proceeded to brutally attack and rape her. Oh, yes, indeed, which apparently is their way of making friends. Oh, and by the way, last week I reported that Obama is waiving counterterrorism laws in order to import 30,000 Syrian Muslim refugees into the United States. Isn't that nice? I mean, what could possibly go wrong with that? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, oh boy, I tell you what, let's take that one there. Let's take that one, stick it in a corral with all the rest of them, okay? Get on in there. Get on in. Get on in there. What's the matter with you? Get your Iraqi butts right on. There you go. Okay. All right. There you. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, we live in the Twilight Zone. I swear to God, we live in the Twilight Zone. Oh, man. Is it me? Is it me, ladies and gentlemen? Sometimes I wonder, sometimes I think I'm going out of my mind with all this stuff. I'm telling you, it's enough to drive you crazy. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. And you are listening to the Samsel Report. This is Wild Bill's Headline Roundup. Our next headline. Are you ready for this? You better sit down for this one. You better sit down for this one. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, just when you thought it was safe to turn on your TV set, I tell you what, I came across this here advertisement on the internet yesterday, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a prime example of how low the mainstream media has devolved. Oh, man. Look out. Yes, you are not going to believe this here advertisement. I'm telling you. Oh, yes. This is real, ladies and gentlemen. You can actually buy this here product. And it's being advertised in the UK and right here in the good old USA. So, without any further ado, let's check out this here actual commercial for a product known as Poo-Pourri. Okay, are you ready for this? Here we go.
I used to hate pooping in public. You know the feeling. Nothing is worse than stinking up the shared toilet at work, or the toilet at a party, or your lover's apartment. Of course, flushing removes the graphic evidence. Maybe 2 or 3 flushes if your skid marks are as tenacious as mine. But what can be done of that subtle scent of a 300-cow dairy farm? Aerosol air fresheners aren't the most effective option, or the healthiest. Trying to mask the stench, giving you a nice blend of ChemLab carnations with just a touch of feces. So, how do you make the world believe your poop doesn't stink? Or in fact that you never poop at all? Poo-Pourri. Poo-Pourri is the before-you-go toilet spray that is proven to trap those embarrassing odors at the source and save relationships. Simply spritz Poo-Pourri in the bowl to create a film on the water's surface that actually traps the odors in their porcelain prison. And when your little astronauts splash down and make contact with the film, they release Poo-Pourri's pleasant aromas, so all those around you can smell as a refreshing bouquet of essential oils. Yes, it is a real product. And yes, it really works. We've sold over 4 million bottles. On Amazon alone, there are over 1,000 reviews rating it 4.8 of 5 stars. That's a better Amazon rating than the iPhone 5. If it doesn't completely stop your stench from spreading, send it back for a full refund. Our unconditional stink-free guarantee. If your poo stinks, click here to get your Poo-Pourri today at poopourri.com. So whether you need to pinch a loaf at work, cut a rope at a party, or lay a brick at your boyfriend, your days of embarrassing smells or prairie dogging it are over. Poo-Pourri. Our business is to make it smell like your business never even happened.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Poo-Pourri. Can you believe that? I swear to God. It is absolutely amazing how low the media can go. And I'm telling you now, ladies and gentlemen, you ain't seen nothing yet. And the sheep'll just lap it up like it's gourmet cuisine. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I tell you, it is absolutely amazing. Man, oh man, oh man. Let's take that there one and stick it in the corral with all the rest of them. Stick the poopery in the corral with the rest of the old... Get yourself on in there. My God! I've never seen such a thing before in my whole entire life, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you what, we live in the Twilight Zone. Oh, yes, we do. Man, oh, man. My God, I tell you, poopery. Have you ever heard of such a thing, ladies and gentlemen? My goodness gracious me. I tell you what, let's continue on with our headlines, okay? All right? Can we do that? All right, okay, let's continue on with our... Oh, now, come on now. Who left the gate open? Neath the sheeple are getting out. We're trying to do a program here. Get on back in there. Get yourself back in there. My goodness. Oh, man. Thank you. Keep that gate closed. Man, we're trying to do a program here, and the sheep will get out. Somebody just leaves the gate open, and next thing you know, they're wandering around. They got this look on their face like they're in outer space. They don't know what's going on. Man, oh, man, oh, man. What was that, sweetheart? What did you say there, darling? What was that? Oh, okay, all right, okay. We're gonna do it. Okay, all right, okay. All right, okay. All right. My goodness. Our next headline, ladies and gentlemen. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, I came across this here little girl on the internet yesterday, and I was truly impressed by her intelligence. Oh, that's right. Yes, there is hope, ladies and gentlemen. There are young people out there that can actually activate and use their brains. She calls herself Josie the Outlaw. That's right. That's right. And she has made this here video. Okay. All right. So what do you say we give a listen to Josie the Outlaw and see what she has to say. All right? Okay, here we go.
If you work in law enforcement, I have a very important question for you, one which soon may be a matter of life or death. I'm sure some people become police officers just so they can boss other people around. But I'm going to assume here that you mean well, that you want to be one of the good guys. In which case, my question is this. Is there anything the politicians could enact into law that you wouldn't enforce? Is there any order that you would refuse to carry out? Or will you do absolutely anything your bosses tell you to? In the U.S., police have already obeyed orders to fine or arrest people for a wide variety of harmless activities, such as dancing at the Jefferson Memorial or having a vegetable garden in their front yard. Police have even gone so far as to execute violent paramilitary raids on food co-ops and organic farms. For decades, police have been carrying out armed home invasions, forced property confiscations, and other acts of violence against people who aren't hurting anyone, but who engaged in behaviors or habits which lawmakers have arbitrarily declared to be illegal. You may be comfortable in assuming that you'll never receive an order to do something truly immoral, but the fact is that every order you receive, you have a choice between obeying without question or relying on your conscience. No doubt there were cops a few years ago who never expected to be ordered to disarm innocent people, to do door-to-door home searches without warrant or probable cause, or to detain and interrogate people for merely driving down a road. Yet police have since been ordered to do all of these things, and almost without exception they obeyed. So it's not unreasonable to ask, is there any point at which you will draw a line and say, no, that I will not do? And if you won't draw such a line anywhere, if you will do absolutely anything your political masters tell you to, how are you any different from the enforcers of Soviet Russia, Red China, or Nazi Germany? You may be tempted to say, I don't make the law, I just enforce it. Or to argue that if some legislature, court, or some authority above you says it's okay, then it must be. But keep in mind that this is exactly what the thugs of every tyrannical regime in history said to justify their actions. And how do we remember those people now? As courageous, noble law enforcers? No. Unless you want posterity remembering you as a heartless, mindless pawn of oppression, then you'd better decide, and decide now, where you will draw that line. Unfortunately, there's little indication that most cops have any line at all. The incidents of police officers refusing to inflict injustice upon the people are extremely rare. Even when cops say they personally oppose certain laws, such as marijuana prohibition, nearly all of them continue to violently enforce these laws against nonviolent people. In other words, they recognize these laws as counterproductive and unjust, but they choose to enforce them anyway. For the most part, American cops seem completely incapable of disobeying immoral orders, and instead do what the enforcers of every other authoritarian empire have done, inflicting harm on innocent people whenever and however those in power tell them to, while accepting no personal responsibility for their actions. I hope you are better than that. Keep in mind there are a lot of decent Americans who do have the integrity and courage to draw a line in the sand, a point at which they will disobey and resist violations of their rights by those in power. It may be that they refuse to be disarmed. It may be that they refuse to cooperate with warrantless searches, or refuse to keep funding a government they view as destructive and unjust. Whether you agree with them doesn't particularly matter. What does matter is whether in the end you are willing, if and when you are ordered to do so, to violently assault the dissenters for their disobedience. When they draw their line in the sand and stand their ground, and your supervisors tell you to use whatever level of violence necessary to get submission and compliance from the resistors, will you obey? If it came down to it, would you kill American citizens for disobeying politicians? Now, if someone is actually harming someone else, of course you have the right to use whatever force necessary to stop the attacker and protect the innocent. But that would be the case even if you had no badge and no uniform. But when you try to arrest someone who hasn't threatened or harmed anyone else, but has only disobeyed some arbitrary regulation, then you are the one initiating force. You are the one starting a fight. You are the bad guy. Now remember, the American Revolution was people forcibly resisting gun confiscation, warrantless searches, what they viewed as unfair taxation, and a number of other oppressions, all in the name of law, all carried out by law enforcers.
So there you have it. I had to cut her short because we're running out of time. Okay? Go to, what is the name of the website there? Oath Keepers. That's right. Go to oathkeepers.com and check it out, all you guys out there in uniform. That's right. That's right. There you go. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless this little girl. She's doing what she can, standing up for our rights, actively voicing her concerns. That's Josie the Outlaw. And go check out some of her videos that she's made, okay? All right? We need more young people like her. Josie the Outlaw. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, I tell you what, let's give Josie the Outlaw a great big Samsel Report round of applause for Josie the Outlaw. There you go. There you have it. There you go. All right. And this brings another Samsel Report, another headline roundup to a close. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. What you want to do is to come back next week, okay? Same time, same station, same channel, right? Revolution Radio, and join old Wild Bill for another headline roundup. Because I tell you what, it's almost time for me to be going.
Hello? I must be going. I cannot stay. I came to say I must be going. I'm glad I came, but just the same, I must be going.
That's right. And any moment now,
Listen to Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com, and we'll be right back after this message.